3 trillion. And the way we're going, I'd be shocked if it doesn't tap out at 3.5, 4. So, blockchain and crypto, it's resilient. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is what it does, this is how it operates, and this is what it means to us. Practically speaking, what does Victory Square provide? Well, we're a publicly traded company. So we build companies, we invest in companies, we scale companies, we provide assets, expertise, partnerships, and you can participate in equity events. We help participate and generate token generation. We have our own ICO division, which I'll tell you about in a second. And we invest actively in crypto companies. If you have a blockchain entity, a blockchain thesis, and you're growing your business, and you need a strategic partner to take you everywhere, come see us. We're happy to talk to you. We always think it's a deal to be done. We're looking for aligned people who are respectful and good stewards of capital, people who have big ideas and dreams, and people who are prepared to go the distance. It sounds super corny, but for those of you who've sweated this through like a Saturday and Sunday, haven't seen the stars for a while, come see us. How do we do it? Well, we have a portfolio of companies. We have 16 currently. Some of these names on the board may or may not be familiar to you. We've got a payment processing company operating like a PayFac, a payment facilitation organization, running crypto transactions. We deal with a company state-of-the-art now called Logo No-Go, focusing on smart rules, on and off the blockchain. We've got applications in multiplied networks. Why is that interesting? Wide area networking, telecoms, your need wide area networks to participate in that. Investment advisors can access the technology platform to prevent crypto assets for their investors. This is coming down the pipe and going live in less than 3 months. B2 Games, we have huge initiatives under there, including an ICO coming with announced today. The technology platform to prevent crypto assets for their investors. I'm happy to tell you about it come to you. So, as it happens, blockchain assembly. So we're in the Pacific Northwest. Rains all the time, except for 2 months of the year. We got a lot of time to work. How it rolls. Blockchain assembly fundamentally is one thing. We run ICOs, we run token generation events. We're very happy doing this. We went out into the market ourselves, identified an opportunity that really didn't fit our requirement, and realized we're a team of growth hackers, we've got strong professional services capabilities, we've successfully been building businesses internationally, in multiple jurisdictions, all stakeholders. So, blockchain assembly is a business running ICOs. We have 3 underway now. 5 on the go, realistically as soon as June. A little information about our team. These fine feathered friends, we have including in the middle Shafin, Diamond, Tijani. Shafin's where Victory Square began. Shafin's originally out of Idi Amin's Uganda, came as a refugee to Canada, got the hustle at the age of 17, stepped up, went on to become a multiple sequential monster in growth hacking. He is fortunate enough to be able to lead and invest in our company as our primary initiator of venture capital access into our global network. Privilege of working with Guy Halford Thompson. Guy currently is the chairman of Neptune Dash. He was the founder of Blockchain Technology Limited, and he's the advisor of Blockchain Assembly. We're privileged to have him. And for some of you who may know, this is Pavel Baines. He's the CEO of a little company growing, you should definitely know, called Bluezell, sugar applications expert and domain expert into Southeast Asia. We work with the D10E leading conference organization. This gives us access to state-of-the-art opportunities in terms of blockchain investment and crypto opportunities. And of course, we're a member of the Blockchain Investors Consortium. One of those mechanisms aligns with what we're doing here today at Keynote. Every month, we step up, we see great ICO pitches, and we invest in the top candidates every month, building a huge crypto portfolio based not just on our intelligence, but in the aggregate of the teams we work with. How does that provide value to the market at large? Well, for investors, for those of you in the audience who want to participate, by investing in Victory Square, you have access to an equity position in just basically vertically and horizontally integrated equity. Our requirement realized every month, building a huge crypto portfolio based not just on our intelligence, but in the aggregate of the teams we work with. How does that provide value to the market at large? Well, for investors, for those of you in the audience who want to participate, by investing in Victory Square, you have access to an equity position in just basically vertically and horizontally integrated equity. Our requirement realized every month, building a huge crypto portfolio based not just on our intelligence, but in the aggregate of the teams we work with. How does that provide value to the market at large? Well, for investors, for those of you in the audience who want to participate, by investing in Victory Square, you have access to an equity position in just basically vertically and horizontally integrated equity. Our requirement realized every month, building a huge crypto portfolio based not just on our intelligence, but in the aggregate. The bulk of our companies are cash positive, had audible financials. Some of them are staying private, some are going public. All of them are scheduled to do ICOs internally. This gives them a war chest so they can go to war. We're very excited to be part of this opportunity. So, a little information. Here's two portfolio companies. The first up is Fans Unite. Fans Unite is a social sports betting platform. We've had the privilege of working with this team for about a year and a half now. But the great thing we like about this team is that the management team is domain experts, tried and true. They understand the space intimately. More importantly, they recognize that the day of the house is coming down. You're walking down the strip, you see a bunch of casinos. What if you could decide to know ahead of time which one's going to give you the best odds to win? More importantly, this technology provides transparency, as you know blockchain does, and it gives a global marketplace access to gamble actively. It's great, it's a good opportunity. More importantly, they'll be doing their ICO, which has already been rated as one of the top ICOs to watch in 2018 by Forbes. Very excited about that. We'll have more information on that coming on the pipe for our media channel in the next 60 days. Here we have Flow. Some of you are familiar with companies like Indiegogo. On Indiegogo, gaming production, gaming investment is a big part of their thesis. People love to put money into that space. We think that's great. We also recognize that getting a t-shirt for investing in a game seems like you're missing part of the pie. With Flow, you can invest into their thesis, you can invest into their tokens, and with their tokens get a sense of equity position and ownership of actual games that go into production and own a stake in a company that is actually driving value to the marketplace for a game that you want to play and you want to support. Finally, I specifically told my designer, don't give me Nickelback, don't give me Justin Bieber, and don't give me pancakes in Canada with maple syrup. I think he's fucking with me, that's what I think. I will tell you, this is hard to be up here with this, and I know my friends are like Insta-storying this is tough. So I'm gonna stay away from that. But regardless, why Canada? Canada looks very dark here, by the way. We're far more liberal country than this. The important part is that in Canada, we have a lot of great technical advantages for building businesses. For those of you who aren't familiar with Canada as an investment opportunity, and for entrepreneurs who aren't aware of what we do, we have one of the largest, most sophisticated tax incentive programs to build businesses. We have a program called SHRED. SHRED will return up to 60 cents on the dollar for anything under $500,000 a year in terms of investment capital deployed into a company. We have IRAP grants, $40,000 and $50,000 grants that can be deployed to incrementally build out solutions in your platform. We have media funds and another 130 different grant programs to fund your business. We pay a lot of tax, we deploy it actively to grow businesses. It's how we roll. More importantly, and I think that's really key, is that we have a strong and very welcoming immigration policy. At Victory Square, we have the privilege of basically recognizing that our startup visa program allows us to migrate a team internationally of up to 6 people to Canada in under 90 days. I know that's kind of a contentious topic currently, but we've been doing it for a while. We're going to keep doing it. We're very happy with the performance and outcome of this. As we said earlier, great can come from anywhere, but building Canada is our thesis. Now, our CEO is blessed with 2 young children we love dearly. They are currently at home on a couch watching Netflix. Selling me a trip to Miami was not hard. They are all quite sick. So, I think that's the team we work with. We're going to continue this topic currently, but we've been doing it for a while. We're going to keep doing it. I'm very happy with the performance and outcome of this. As we said earlier, great can come from anywhere, but building Canada is our thesis. Now, our CEO is blessed with 2 young children we love dearly. They are currently at home on a couch watching Netflix. Selling me a trip to Miami was not hard. They are all quite sick. So, I think that's the team we work with. We're continuing this topic currently, but we've been doing it for a while. Everyone enjoys 2018 for what it does. And we're grateful to be here and part of the blockchain community. Thank you very much, everyone. You have a great afternoon.
Victory Square, excited to see that check presentation later, man. Thank you so much. $100,000 going to somebody. Sean Clark! Sean Clark, come out. We actually put him on a little bit earlier. So go ahead, Sean. Tell him what you got going on.
Hey guys, seamless transition. I was just excited to get out here because Peter set the stage for what we're doing. And what he talked about is exactly what we've done. We're a Canadian company, and we've actually used the RTO mechanism in Canada to provide an on-ramp for institutions to invest into the space. And we actually haven't done it with just any company. We've been able to do it with Victory. So why this is powerful and why at the end of the day, Hut 8 will be different from literally every single company now trying to mine Bitcoin or altcoins for that matter in the space, is because we are Victory. The way that the capital markets work is that when you do a reverse takeover onto the Toronto Stock Exchange, Venture Exchange, which is where we're going, institutions will come in because it's an on-ramp. So, Hut 8 is bit theory. I want to create that association here, right now, with this community. This mechanism in Canada is so unique that we are going to be able to scale bit theory's operations like we've never seen, because we will be providing access to institutions to indirectly invest in bit theory. So what Hut 8 is it is a capital markets vehicle that was formed for the purpose of vending in bit theory's North American assets. So, Hut 8 is bit theory North America. What exactly does that look like today? Well, like we've never seen. Because we've just actually been on a roadshow and direct $100 million raise. And the roadshow actually books close at 3 p.m. today. Toronto, Montreal, New York, doing $100 million raise, and we've had strong demand, so we'll fill that. But Hut 8, just while we have this slide, what exactly does that look like today? Well, location where Alan Turing reported because we've actually been on a roadshow and not only $100 million raise, actually books close at 3 p.m. today. Toronto, Montreal, New York, $100 million raise. So this is what we've done. Strong demand. We'll fill that. So what exactly does that look like today? Well, owners are huge institutions that are active on providing access. So we raised $3 million around what exactly does that look like today? hydropower that they don't know what to do with. So Quebec will soon be a blockchain center where everyone is mining. But again, the key difference is who can actually execute on what they promise. What we're doing here with Hut 8 and Bit Theory is that we are creating a utility company. The plan is to institutionalize and create economies of scale so vast in mining that it will underpin the entire digital currency asset class. And if you believe the RBC report that came out a few days ago or last week, that they even predicted and they said that the digital currency asset class will represent a $10 trillion opportunity. Well, everyone in this room believes that, as I'm sure. And what we want to do with Hut 8 and Bitfury is be one of the anchor tenants in that space with utility size scale. So, we're vertically integrated. We have access to cheap power. We're developing long-term contracts with governments. We're investing in provinces. We're in fact doing a Center of Excellence in Montreal. We're going to be training coders. We want to really get into the fabric of the communities that we're going into, because Bitcoin is all about decentralization, but it's not just decentralization. It's actually about community as well, right? That's why all of it is so important and popular. So I apologize. This is an investor deck, so I'm just going to flip through because some of the stuff is not going to be appropriate. But what I do want to do is talk about this. This actually speaks to the level that we're playing, the level that the vision that we have. So we're very fortunate to have, well, Bill Tye. I mean, come on, what a legend. He was single-handedly responsible for planting the seed where this relationship has gone. He's an amazing guy. And we have him on the board, he's the chairman of the board. So having his thought leadership within this space, he's been so active, we're very fortunate. Valery Vavilov, CEO, founder of Bitfury. He is the brains, he is the visionary. The software stack with which they've built on top of the chip, to the servers, to the air cooling, and then to the software. Bitfury is truly an amazing company. We're glad to be a part of it. Michael Novogratz, the titan of Wall Street, Galaxy Digital. He owns 7.5% of this company. So I guess you could say that we're aligned. The other three, Jerry Sinclair, she was ex-GM of Microsoft Canada, incredibly active. Dennis Mills, ex-parliamentarian in the Ontario government. And Jeffrey Mason provides mining resource expertise, so when we scale, we're going to know what to do. So we've prepared an incredibly compelling board of directors. We will be able to get financing for all of the projects that we are planning. We'll roll out hundreds and hundreds of megawatts to create a utility. And the best part is we'll be able to invest in this company. So, Bitfury itself has been around since 2011. We all know who they are. They were there when Bitcoin went up from 900 to 200. They were last man standing, but that allowed them to get market share. Over $350 million in revenue last year. They're profitable. All the investors in this institution I talked to are like, well, why aren't you just taking Bitfury public? Well, at the end of the day, the regulation to get a full-blown prospectus through the SEC or some other regulatory body is actually incredibly difficult. Not only that, you don't want to put your entire playbook onto the street for everyone to see. And this is where Peter comes in. This is where we come in. This is where the Canadian capital markets mechanism, known as the RTO, is an incredibly powerful tool. It allows liquidity, and now institutions are pouring into the space through this mechanism. But it's not a shortcut. It really is something that allows real companies with real revenues, with real stories, to access institutional capital. That's what that is. So this little news here is actually quite interesting. So let's talk about that for a second. Val had a moment when their Norway facility got asbestos. So they had to move a fixed site installation of a 50 megawatt facility out. And there was so much downtime that he was like, this is brutal, we're not mining. We have to do something about this. Why can't we just put these into a container so that we can move them around? 5 years of R&D, that was 5 years ago when that happened. Now one of these ocean line 40-foot containers contain 100,000 ASIC chips, 176 server boards, 7.5 petahashes on 1.1 megawatts capacity. At the end of the day, these allow you to become an energy hunter. Whereas when you have a fixed site installation, you are beholden to the electricity costs within that specific location. Electricity is 90% of the entire cost to mine Bitcoin. So this is why the utility economies of scale and the utility size play will win. We're agnostic on the price of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin goes up, everybody's getting in, that's what we're seeing. Well, we're just making money, just like everyone else. However, when the Bitcoin price goes down, we also win. And we win because we have the lowest marginal cost to roll out the next megawatt. Meaning, the cost for us is $1,200 to actually mine. And the depreciation of capex is $300. So actually, the price can go down to $1,000, and we have enough Bitcoin and enough cash to sustain, and then we'll just gain market share. But again, considering the ethos of decentralization, considering no one actor should have more power than any else, George, Val, Bill, they believe this as well. So Hut 8 is not planning to have more than 30% of the entire Bitcoin mining. However, 30% of $10 trillion is actually quite compelling. So that's what we're building here. Have more power than anything else. George, Val. So actually, this is kind of interesting. Where's all the mining happening? China's red hot, 65% of all Bitcoin mining happening. Japan was on fire, raise capital, put ant miners next to empty, ghost town cities in China, and he scaled up quickly. Bitcoin wasn't able to in the last 5 years. However, that has changed. The winds have turned, and now the capital markets in the West have now caught up. So we are now going to scale incredibly quickly. 5% of the mining is done in North America. We intend to change that. We intend to rebalance the ecosystem. This is why this is exciting. This is why this is compelling. Okay. Well, sorry, this is all finance stuff, but at the end of the day, we will be public mid to late February. So I guess what I want to leave you with is the thinking that Hut 8 is a vehicle with which Bitfury can access capital markets. And what we're solving for with the institutions that are buying our stock is that we're solving for the working capital problem. Traditionally, Bitfury has grown internally. They're a private company, so they would have to actually mine the coins, sell them, put in an order to Taiwan Semiconductor, and then have them produce it, and then roll out more mining rigs. Again, it's a slow process. It's 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. With the capital markets, we're able to pre-finance everything. We're going to say we're going to do 100 megawatts in Quebec, and then institutions and capital markets will raise the money, $100 million, $2 million, and then we'll deploy it. So it really becomes an exercise in the same store model. The operational excellence that these guys have accrued over the last 7 years, they know how to mine. They have an entire proprietary software stack, global monitoring, and they've made all the mistakes. So having the chips, having the power, having the capital, now it becomes execution. So we are literally going same store model. That one, okay, it works, then next, 50 megawatts, 100 megawatts. So it is truly an exciting time for this company. And I'm very, very fortunate to, tell this story. And other than that, I'd like to thank everyone for your time.
John Buck, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. We are a little bit ahead of schedule, so we're going to give you guys a quick 10-minute break. If you wanted to make a phone call, check your Binance, do whatever you got to do. We'll be right back right after this.